Pipe smoking community. This is Paul the Pipe Guy here, live from Rochester, New York. And this is part 4 of our deep cleaning and deghosting our vintage pipes. And I actually learned a lot. I did 6 pipes. And some of them I decided I wasn't going to deep clean, and so I did a different type of cleaning on those that I've shared with you in prior videos. I'll give you a short tutorial on it. So this pipe here is a KBB. The last one that we're about ready to do, that's our KBB. That's been sitting in there now for 24 hours. Look at the stuff on there. I mean, that salt and Everclear just soaked up all of that. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take that and we're going to, first I'm going to take this out of the, oh nice, that wicked down really good. And then, oh boy, oof, lots of stuff in there. Oh wow, she's clean as a whistle. Clean as a whistle. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pipe filter now that we've gotten all that gross salt and stuff out of there that absorbed up. And it kind of really sits on the top of the salt. I don't know why. So we're going to take a swab of our Randy's bristled, and we're going to pipe cleaners. We're just going to clean this out here. Not too much stuff. Now, I did a pretty good pre-clean on this. Now, as I was sharing with you, some of the pipes I didn't fully deep clean. And basically what I did is I went through the stems and I went through the shank with the bristled pipe cleaners and the Everclear. I do want to warn you a bit. I had, where is it now? I had a pipe that actually I noticed a small faint crack in it. And I was like, geez, okay. Do I clean that one? And I did anyways. And basically what happened is some of the cracks, and you probably can't see it in the video here. I'm sure you can't. But if you inspect your pipe, this one has a faint hairline crack. Sorry about the lighting and so forth. It's just a very faint. A lot of times you can see the crack on the top of the crown. And I did that one, and it had 2 or 3 of those cracks in it. And it expanded or shrunk the wood or whatever it did. And I got up the next day and I was like, oh my gosh, this pipe is ruined. Well, cleaned everything out. It shrunk back into place. So what we're going to do is probably something some people may or may not agree with. I'm actually going to take this pipe down and I'm going to rinse it out with water. Yes, warm water. I'm going to rinse it out. We'll be right back. Okay, so we rinsed out our KBB with warm water just to get all that salt and everything out of there. And a lot of people may say, oh my God, you're rinsing your pipe out with water. Well, you have to consider this, that tobacco pipe has a high moisture content, which means that there's a lot of water actually in your pipe tobacco. And when you smoke it, I'm sure every pipe smoker has gotten to that point where your pipe has actually gotten wet inside. And you can dump it upside down and all of this brownish yellowish water comes out. Well, that's moisture. Now, the thing that you do not want to do, you're going to have to do not smoke this right away. I set my bowls away for 4 to 5 days to make sure that they are totally dried out, you know, and actually alcohol will help to dry out moisture, so I'm going to give this another little push with some alcohol in it, and it will help the drying process. So the cracked pipes, inspect your pipe very well before you do this deep cleaning process. And I'll even go down through the bowl with this Everclear again. So you do want to inspect your pipes to make sure that they're not damaged. And if you do have hairline cracks, they could still be good smokers, but I would do a less invasive type of cleaning like I'm doing here on this pipe right now. Even though I've already deep cleaned it, I'm still going back through it with Everclear. And still you can see there's a lot of junk that comes out of there. So everyone's probably dying to wonder and waiting, did the ghost go away? We'll be right back. I'm going to pause it and then I'm going to share that information with you here in a second. Okay, so I'm back. Sometimes I get so exuberant about these videos that I forget to properly stage things. So I may have something that I need over here in my little nook that might be 6 or 8 feet away. In this case, I forgot to preload my pipes that we want to test to see if we got rid of the ghost. And the first one that we're going to test here is the GBD Canadian style pipe. Now, I did notice one thing with this, and it may be my imagination, I don't know. It seemed to vary ever so slightly swell up the end on this, and it may have been that way before, I don't know. But just caution to you, I'm going to do more testing on this because I do have other Canadian style pipes that I do want to deghost and deep clean. So we're going to light this one up and we'll see how it tastes. Mm. 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 Oh yeah. Mm. Now, keep in mind, you've reamed the bowl out. So you've taken all that cake, and basically cake is, it's not the burnt part. You don't want to smoke your pipe so you burn the inside of the bowl. So we have to be very careful. We have to re-break these pipes back in. So we have to get that cake build up. And cake basically, I'm sure all of you know what it is. If you don't, the cake is the buildup of carbon from smoking tobacco in your pipe. And you normally want that to get about the thickness of a United States dime. Maybe about 2 millimeters, 1 millimeter, something like that. And basically what that does is that insulates the pipe from overheating. So now that we've stripped everything out of this, and don't ever strip the wood out of it. Don't ever ream it out where you're getting chips of wood, because you don't want the bowl to get thinner and thinner, because then it's just going to burn out. It's going to, it's going to overheat. So that's one thing that you've got to be careful of. Now, the other thing is after you deep clean and deghost your pipe, you're going to look at it every day, but you got to really let it set for 4 days. And like this one here, this KBB, I'll let it set without the stem in it. And I'll place it next to my air purifier where the air gets taken in, and it'll kind of suck air gently through this. And the reason why you want to let these pipes rest is, number one, you're not going to get a good smoke if the wood is still damp. It's going to put out your tobacco. You won't get a pleasurable smoke out of it. And you could risk actually breaking your pipe. If you have moisture a lot of moisture still built up in this wood and hasn't properly dried out, when heat hits water, it expands the water, and you can crack the bowl, you can crack the stem, and so don't rush it. Don't rush it. Do one pipe, let it sit aside for 4 days, and then keep yourself busy doing other pipes and deep cleaning them. And so this one, Mm. Mm. Oh, it's so smooth. So, when re-breaking your pipe back in, some people have the fill it up the quarter of the way and smoke it, fill it up halfway and smoke it. I don't do any of that. I just fill the whole bowl up and I smoke it. And so, a lot of times, what I'm going to do is when I'm breaking in multiple pipes, um, I'll smoke these. Mm. Um, when, mm. Oh. When you start to feel it get warm, real warm, you're going to want to let it rest. So, what I'll do is I'll smoke multiple pipes. Sometimes I'll have 2 or 3 different pipes going. So, we're going to set this aside and let this rest. So, we're going to have to break this in gently again. And this could take, to build up enough cake to insulate it again, to properly protect the pipe, could, depending on what pipe tobacco you use. I like cherry aromatic, which has a lot of resins and so forth. It's a lot moisture tobacco than maybe some others. So it's going to build that up, I think, a little bit faster. But I'm probably going to have to smoke this pipe a good 15 or 20 times. And I have to be gentle with it. I've got to be gentle with it because I don't want to burn it out or anything like that. So our next pipe, and this one is a 4-digit serial number, 7700. Ooh, interesting number. And it's a K Woody. And totally deep cleaned this pipe, did the salt treatment on it. And when I was doing this, I had so many pipes going. I almost got afraid. I was like, is the ghost coming out and messing with me? Because I couldn't fit all the pipe stems in with the different pipes. And every stem is going to fit its owner, the pipe, perfectly. And I was confused because I thought I had a Model 600 out and I couldn't find a Model 600 stem, and I'm freaking out like for 3 days. And finally, by process of elimination, and I even went back to eBay, I'm looking at the picture of when I bought it, the Model 600, and I was like, that stem is not here amongst any of these stems. Well, after I looked at the pipe, it wasn't the Model 600, it was another one. So it all came together, but it was kind of weirding me out. So we're going to try the K Woody. This one actually had a very bad ghostly undertone, extremely bad. Oh, and it starts out very faint at first, but then once you start smoking that pipe, I mean, this pipe was made between 1925 and 1936, and the most, commonly smoked pipe tobacco then was Prince Albert, and so you're looking at something that was smoked for, God, maybe 50 years. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm. Oh, the ghost is gone. Mm. And it tastes so good. Even my son was saying, because, I did do a little pre-test, and even my son had mentioned that, Dad, the smoke, when you blow it out, even smells different. Well, yeah. Get all that gunk and junk out of there. Mm. Mm. Oh, yeah. Great smoke. So it's starting to warm up, so I'm going to let it set. Then I can go back to maybe a third pipe. But the other thing I noticed is that not all the pipes, but maybe 1 or 2 of them came out with a little bit duller finish. Now, you're doing a very intrusive deep cleaning on these pipes. I mean, you're filling them up with 95% alcohol and salt. And all this stuff is coming out of them, and it has to have some way to escape. Now, when you're dealing with almost pure alcohol, I mean, that's going to basically come out of the pipe out on the outside of the wood. So it did tend on one or two of my pipes to kind of dull the finish just a bit. So basically what I did is I just took my Decatur hand wax, which is made for pipes. It's about the consistency of chapstick. And I just took a soft cloth, went over them, and man, they came back gorgeous. And so here again, if you're afraid to do the deep cleaning, maybe you have a favorite pipe, but it's got a tiny crack in it, just do a simple deep cleaning. Put this in OxiClean, the stem, the bowl, and the shank, clean it out with a bristly brush. I use Randy's, and some Everclear. You can buy it at any liquor store. Clean that out, clean the bowl out, ream the bowl out. Soak the stem in OxiClean. That'll come out dull looking. You can take some fine steel wool and go over that. Make sure you don't hit the pipe. So I use very fine steel wool. Be careful of logos. You don't want to take the logo off. And then take your taper down with Everclear. Let that just sit in there. Clean that out. So you can do a somewhat of a deep cleaning without the extremely intrusive cleaning of the salt bath and alcohol bath, and you won't risk the damaging your pipe. So anyways, I know this was a longer video, but I felt that I needed to really touch on a lot of things, and so we got rid of the Ghost. These pipes are awesome smokers now. I mean, gosh. I mean, they were great. They were great before, but now the Ghost is gone, and all I can taste is my cherry aromatic tobacco. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to hearing any questions or comments. I know this video is going into 18 minutes long. I probably should have made it in 2 different segments. I probably should have done a part 5, but I was so excited to share with you smoking these pipes. So I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. Subscribe to my channel, and I'd love to hear any questions, comments. I love to hear from you guys, and I respond to everyone. So I'm Paul the Pipe Guy from Rochester, New York. Happy pipe smoking, pipe smokers. Over and out.